Nikola Jokic was snubbed for the 2024/25 MVP award, and it seems like the voters didn't have the belief that he was arguably the best figure in the previous season, regardless of him becoming the third player in NBA history to average a triple-double in the regular season. After coming short of winning the fourth MVP award in 6 years, Jokic is on a path to become the league's villain and redeem himself. But will this be with the Nuggets? And is there an opportunity to see him play elsewhere? There is no doubt about it. The general belief of the NBA world is that Jokic was snubbed for the MVP award this year compared to Shai. Again, we're talking about an award that says Most Valuable Player, which means that without that particular player, the franchise is going to be a lottery team. And it's not that hard to understand. Just pull Jokic out of the Nuggets and you're going to be left with the inconsistency of Murray and Porter Jr., as well as the immaturity of Westbrook. But you can't say the same about the Thunder. They have an all-star in Jalen Williams and a very strong young core that they can build their team around. Yes, Shai is a pivotal piece of the team, but it's not like OKC won't make the playoffs without him. Still, the voters had their say and decided to snub Jokic out of this award. This happened for the first time in the last 6 years when Jokic lost the award to Joel Embiid back in the 2022-23 campaign. And the fact that with a dismantled team that he had this season, he was able to come to the semi-finals and put the number 1 seeded Thunder to Game 7 speaks volumes about his contribution on the court. The question arises, why didn't the voters believe that Jokic has what it takes to be an MVP for the 4th time in his career? It could very well be because the narrative of the best player on the best team wins here. But if that's the situation, then the core values of the NBA might need a bit of fixing. Throughout this season, Jokic actually got closer to first place than Embiid did in his year, where he got 674 points and 15 first-place votes. Antetokounmpo had 606 points and 12 first-place votes in the 2022/23 season, just for comparison. Jokic received all 29 first-place votes that didn't end up at SGA, with the final tally being 913 points to the guard and 787 points to the center. But this is a big hit for Jokic. 71 first-place votes went directly to SGA, and obviously it's a narrative that the NBA wants to push for a bit longer, depending on how much the fans are going to accept this scenario. So, what are the stats saying? Jokic finished the season with 29.6 points, which is 3rd best in the season, 12.7 rebounds, which is 2nd best, and 10.2 assists, 2nd best as well. Never mind the triple-double average. Jokic shot a career high from the three-point line, 41.7%, recording 1.8 steals per game, which is another career high. What else should this man do in order to win the MVP? Oh, and let me tell you one more thing. Jokic is the first player since per-game stats began to be tracked in the 1969-70 season to finish in the top 3 in the 3 major stats. I have no idea why the narrative is being pushed against Jokic. Maybe it's because the NBA is not ready to have a leader that's from Europe, and maybe they want to keep the face of the league being from their inner circles. But be that as it may, the show must go on. SGA, on the other hand, took home the scoring title with 32.7 points per game. Of course, he did set a career high in assists as well, 6.4, but that is the 14th best record in the league, which isn't quite good for a point guard. These two are definitely going to hit their horns many times throughout the future. And even though Jokic was able to snatch the MVP last season with SGA finishing 2nd, this year the narrative was a bit different, and the script was a bit flawed, according to NBA experts. Even the former coach of the Nuggets, Mike Malone, pulled back his words and said that if he had an opportunity to vote for Jokic, he would have definitely did so. And, in his mind, Jokic is still the MVP of the league. This comes after an obscene comment from the former Nuggets coach went viral, where during Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between the Thunder and the Wolves, he went on to say that Shai deserved why he is the MVP of this league, before the award was given to Shai. Elaborating further on this and reversing his views on the entire situation, Malone said, "I did vote for Nikola Jokic for MVP this year if I had a vote. I want to make sure the people of Denver know that, because I am getting a lot of heat back home." A discussion that needs to be taken care of sooner rather than later is the impact of the free throws on the MVP candidates. For example, we are seeing that Jokic and Shai are going to the charity stripes a lot more compared to the other candidates. And while SGA is the one who receives a lot of heat for the foul baiting, Jokic hasn't been immune either. If we are to look at the stats, they're going to present us with a broader picture in this regard. Jokic averaged 6.4 free throw attempts in 70 games played. On the other hand, SGA averaged 8.8 free throw attempts this season. It's definitely visible that the Thunder guard is pushing the narrative in his direction, and he's even forced the rivals to guard him without using any hands. So it's kind of provocative to go against this type of player. The opinions are divided. Some say he is a genius, some say he is ruining basketball as we know it. But the more dominant opinion matters. SGA is the MVP, and Jokic needs to do something in order to reclaim this position back. As all things stand, a change in the scenario is needed. SGA was definitely the best player on the best team in the previous season, and after bringing his team to the Western Conference Finals and giving them a solid shot at competing for the chip for the first time since 2010, these are the arguments that you'll have a hard time going against. But Jokic knows better than anyone else. With the current constellation of the Nuggets, they are definitely not going to progress far in the playoffs, or even more importantly, they won't have an opportunity to win the championship. Elaborating further on this, Jokic said, "We didn't win the championship, so obviously we can't do it with this construction. If we could, we would win it. I don't believe in that ifs stuff. We had opportunities. We didn't win it, so I think we can't." And this is where the trade scenarios have come to life. Jokic has been related to a departure, and there are certain reports that said the Serbian big is ready to play with Doncic and LeBron in the Lakers. The question is whether the Lakers have a good enough package to trade for Jokic. As of now, their trade assets revolve around Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and a couple of picks that they have stored. But Denver might be a bit smarter and choose another scenario, exploit the market for Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. Their inconsistency is making them less wanted property, so they are highly unlikely to get top-tier players in exchange. And considering both of them are on hefty contracts with Denver, it's unlikely that we'll have a solid shot at seeing Jokic be equipped with proper talent for the upcoming season. With all this in mind, what are your takes on the 2024/25 MVP award? And do you think that Jokic was stripped away from it because of the narrative that the best player on the best team should win it? Let us know in the comments below. And once you do that, make sure to click on the video that appears on your screen right now.